an incredible team effort to win this once. Back to back. Let's do this the way we did it last season. Everybody come on up.
The Lightning asked to be around the cup last year when they received it. It might be the start of a special new tradition.
What was so incredible last year was the eerie silence. And now the fans just waiting to explode again.
We have a back-to-back champion. It requires a great organization, starting with Jeff Vinik, Julian Breesbach, John Cooper, and these incredible players who had to sacrifice and work harder under the most difficult circumstances, not just this season, but last season. This is an incredible accomplishment. And I know I speak for all the players, and they did an incredible job as an incredible team. I speak for all of them when they say, sharing this with you has been the highlight of this campaign and the back-to-back trophy. Thank you, fans here in Tampa. Captain Steven Stamkos, it is my honor to present you with the Stanley Cup.
Encore performance, but this one might be even sweeter as he shares it with all of Tampa Bay.
With all of Tampa Bay and all his teammates and being able to contribute on the ice, unlike last year having to do most of it off.
John Beliveau started the tradition of the victory lap with the cup so fans could all get a closer look, and Steven Stamkos is going to start this victory parade. Let's find out who gets it next.
No surprise there, 77. I mean, what a playoff performance again. Some questions about his health down the stretch of the season. No question about his impact again.
282 days after winning their first, so it'll be the shortest time span between cup victories. And David Savard gets to raise the cup for the first time, one of the few who was not part of this team a year ago.
Now, Chris, you mentioned it today, John Cooper talking about Savard being one of the rare ones without it, and you're feeling left out, and so a fitting pass on from the captain to Hedman to David Savard.
And who assists, makes the play on the game-winning goal tonight.
What a heartbreaking last few games for Alex Killorn. Doing the things you have to win, Chris, blocking a shot, and the reaction of the crowd knowing he wasn't able to play in these last few games, but boy, has he had an impact, and is he an important role player on that team.
I thought we found out how important he was when he left, because that line wasn't the same. A kid from Beaconsfield, John Cooper mentioned, and probably got to skate at the Bell Center in the warm-up just because it was in his hometown, but he was not ready to return after being injured on a shot block. But one of the core guys that has led to these back-to-back championships, and there's another guy very instrumental in the core.
As Kevin Bieksa said, 162 playoff games. That's 2 seasons worth of the hardest hockey you're ever going to play, and I just thought that he's continually getting better. He had just an exceptional Stanley Cup final, made big plays in both ends of the ice, and there's the payoff with that smile on the face. It's going to be on there for a while, I think.
that defensive core special. And here's a guy that has a lot of experience doing this. Third straight for Pat Maroon. A first since Eddie Litzenberger back in the early 60s, who won 3 in a row with 2 different teams. At McDonald, the other in the modern history of the Cup to have 3 straight with 2 different teams. And they said he was instrumental in just talking about how special it was in St. Louis to win with the fans, and that was a theme he kept stressing to his teammates. And the chance of Cooch arise here.
No regular season, no problem. I mean, from game 1 of these playoffs, Kucherov, as he often does, made his impact felt. And you go back to game 1 here, the 3-point night, 2 goals and assists, kind of set the stage for where we are right now as Kucherov once again leads the playoffs in scoring.
And has proven once again he is one of the elite talents in the league. Led the Lightning in scoring in his final and in the playoffs in back-to-back years. Only Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky have done that. And now from one Russian star to another. Guy who somehow just had Montreal's number. Again, only has lost once to the Canadiens since 2018. And even in that game, he was almost unbeatable.
Just incredible, isn't it? The 11th time in 23 games, a goal or less.
Well, it's back-to-back cups for Luke Schenn after his brother won in 2019. So they're cheering in Saskatoon tonight. 2 cup rings for Luke, who has a couple of sons, Kingston and Weston. Craig, here's a guy I think is as underrated as anybody in the league.
I love John Cooper's comment about Palat. He said he doesn't get the accolades of Point and Kucherov, but if I took him off the line, Point and Kucherov would be in my office minutes later telling me what the heck am I doing if I lost my mind. So the teammates and line mates know exactly how much he means, and he showed an unreal physical edge in this series as well.
What a story Tyler Johnson is. Is this his last game in this uniform? He left his mark, an outstanding Stanley Cup final. A couple of goals in game number 3. The guy that was on waivers more than once this year as they tried to sort out the cap. And a guy who started with John Cooper in their American League team, and he's only played for John Cooper.
Well, you wonder if this line will go 3 in a row here, as you think of the sweep that the Columbus Blue Jackets had of this Tampa Bay Lightning team, and Julien BriseBois brought in some players that would change the dynamic, and this is one of them here. That line of Goodrow, Coleman, and Gord, just absolutely incredible.
Former North Bay Battalion celebrating, handing it off to his center iceman as we hand it off to Kyle.
Okay, Chris, along with Steven Stamkos, I think about the day you were drafted by this organization. Among the things you said were, I can't believe this is happening. Well, can you believe you are now a back-to-back Stanley Cup champion?
It's amazing. This group has been through so much together. To do this in front of our fans and our family, we didn't get a chance to do that last year. And that was huge motivation for this group, was to win it again. It doesn't take anything away from last year, but to do it again is just validation into history. And this group accomplished something that not many people thought could happen. And like I said, to do it in front of our family, our friends, and our fans was just amazing.
It was a glorious 2 minutes and 47 seconds for you last year. I don't have to tell you about how the injury bug has been to you over your career. So to be a part of this run, be good enough to play every night, what did that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's just, again, it's validation to every rehab session, to all the hard work, to all my family that has loved me and supported me since day one, the training staff here, everyone who never quit on me when I was going through those tough times. And this is to be part of this. Last year was amazing. I think this tops it.
I'll let you enjoy it, Stephen. Congrats.
Thank you.
Chris.
Yeah, think about Steven Stamkos, broken leg, hip injury, knee injuries. He's gone through a lot of adversity to get to the winner's circle in back-to-back years.
We saw Brayden Point, what a player he has become, what a year he had, a 9-game goal-scoring streak. And a pass-off to another underrated player. I thought Erik Cernak has just turned the corner and been, last year he played, but not nearly the significant role he did this year. Another one of the great back-end players for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I think it's remarkable that we saw 6 defensemen in this series for the Lightning, and 5 of them acquired by trade. And there's another, Jan Rutta, taking the handoff.
You know, Jan Rutta last year only played in 5 playoff games, wasn't really feeling a part of this, and there's another. He and Cernak just became such an integral part, and when you have that Rockin Hedman back there can settle everything down, you got a lot to learn, and I thought Rutta was just a sponge and has really developed into a great young defenseman.
Scored the first goal of game number 3 to put the Canadiens off balance, and there's another young defenseman acquired by trade, and the Canadiens know all about that, and they knew they were trading a talented young guy in Mikhail Sergachev.
That's interesting that 3 in a row are the D. Kyle talked about the Montreal defense kind of being like a family within the family, and here you had Cernak, Rutta, and Sergachev.
Anthony Cirelli, who won a Memorial Cup in Oshawa, lifts the Stanley Cup for the 2nd time. Kyle?
Okay, Chris, along with Brayden Point. Brayden, to do this again in back-to-back years in a crowd like this, what do you think of?
Just how much work it took from all the guys, and you know, just to come back and have a good year, and then just the sacrifice that our guys made, and you know, the amount of block shots, and just everything it took to win again is incredible, and I'm very proud of our group.
Seems remarkable, the chemistry between Palat and Kucherov, the 3 of you. I mean, how would you describe just what's been formed over the last couple of years?
Yeah, you know, we've played a lot together. We've gone through a lot together, a lot of adversities, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. Just great friends on our group. I think we're a very tight group, like you say, and you know, we're willing to sacrifice for each other, and I think that's why we win.
Oh, Tim Hunter said you are give coaches the vision of what an ideal player looks like. What do you love the most about moments like this?
Well, just to share it with everybody. I mean, it's great in the building with the fans, and the crowd was electric tonight, but just the fact that it's a team effort and you get to share with the guys, it's fantastic.
Brayden, congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris.
Saw a glimpse of Barb Underhill, one of the skating coaches. There's Barb, who has worked with Brayden Point and all of them, and she works along with Tracy Tutton, and the interesting story there is the 2 skating coaches both grew up together in Oshawa, and our part of this celebration is Matthew Joseph hands it off to Curtis McElady. And Curtis, at 38 years of age, the backup goaltender, guy who probably does the most work in the practices, he is a cup champion for the 2nd straight year.
It takes everybody. I love the fact, though, Matthew Joseph got an opportunity after a disappointment. As John Cooper said, he didn't get a chance to play last year. Wasn't guaranteed he was going to get an opportunity, but here played a significant role here in the Stanley Cup final. And now you get the players who have been around and working hard. You mentioned McElhaney taking practice. You've got guys who are in and out of the lineup but always have to be ready, Chris. And this is equally a special moment for them as well.
Taxi squad guys had to be ready and contribute.